All right, hey, so we're in downtown Montreal. We were just outside the American Consulate where about 1,000 people gathered to protest or raise awareness of what happened in Rafah on Sunday. There was a horrible massacre. So at least 50 civilians were killed by an Israeli strike. A lot of children. You've probably seen the shocking images by now.
As Netanyahu sort of said, or wanted to say, that this was a grave accident, clearly knowing that this was no accident, that this had always been intended, that this goes to the very DNA of the Israeli state project, that this massacre of people, of children, who've not been displaced once, not twice, but 3 times, who face not just the Nakba in 48, but a continual Nakba, until they either are driven to death like those on this weekend, or to be completely cleansed from their homeland. And all they have done is simply to refuse. Their resistance has been to refuse to leave Gaza.
It's pouring rain. I think it's like something like 40 millimeters. And yet still, there's like maybe 1,000 people here. People are obviously super upset. You know, some people are weeping, but some people have also brought their kids. People are angry, but they're also extremely hopeful that the continued resilience of the people on the ground in Palestine, in Gaza, and in the West Bank, you know, will inspire protesters here to keep resisting. Our government, it took almost 24 hours. Actually, I think it took more than 24 hours for them to issue a statement, which was the usual sort of outrage and condemnation, but no action.
The Zionist entity wouldn't be able to exist without the imperial state powers. The Zionist entity wouldn't be able to carry out their barbaric attacks and massacres without the full financial and political backing of the American war machine. A month ago, Biden said that the invasion of Rafah was a red line. But now the invasion of Rafah has continued for weeks, and it has expanded to the entire Gaza Strip.
Since the ICJ has ruled and mandated the Israeli regime to halt its military operations in the Gaza Strip, they have bombed Rafah over 60 times, and they have been perpetrating this genocide for the past 8 months with full impunity and with full backing of the American and Canadian governments. And what we see here today is that despite the rain, despite these conditions, the entire city is rising up and mobilizing for Palestine and for Gaza to demand an end of the siege on Gaza, of course, but an end to Western complicity as well. I mean, what we have seen for the past 8 months is the masses rise in unprecedented numbers in solidarity with the people of Palestine and calling for liberation as well. And we see these are people of conscience who refuse to have their tax money being used to fund this genocide and who are demanding an end to Western complicity.
Everything we've seen, do you have any hope that public opinion is starting to change?
I have no idea, but I hope so. That's what we're protesting for.
It's never been about Semitism, like never. Like since the 40s, it's never been about the Semitism. Like
you can still find people everywhere from both sides, you know, who are extremists and who don't support the right issue or for the right cause, you know. You can have like a different agenda that's not noble or that's not related to the issue that we are seeing right here, right? You don't have to have a relationship with that place or anything to be able to
consider their humanity.
Exactly. You know, to know what's right or what's wrong. Honestly, if it was the other side, you know, the opposite, I would go against that. You know, it's not a matter of and you know, there's a lot of people like, and I understand it can be like a connection to them, even like ethnically or you know, but it doesn't have to be like that, you know. So you don't need to.
Humanity.
Yeah, exactly.
God bless you.
God bless you too, man.
People here are fed up with this. In the United States and across Canada, we're seeing protests everywhere. We're seeing a genocide unfold live, and I don't know that we've ever seen that before in the history of technology and humanity, and it's so scary. And not a lot of people are in a mood to talk. They want this to end. They want to see an end to the suffering. They want to see an end to the occupation. They want to see an end to the bombardment, and I can't blame them.